Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming to Jana Mint Oil School. We are talking about Wellness Wednesday. And today I want to just broach the subject. What's the big deal about essential oils? Or essential oils don't work for me. I don't understand what the big deal is. I want to address that because if you, many people who come into essential oils will ask me, I have just name an affliction. Okay. And what's an oil I can use? Well, if it is head tension, I have 3 or 4 oils I can recommend. But if it's something more serious, like I had someone text me a couple days ago and said, what do you recommend for stroke? Well, that's not a one text answer. Okay. That is when you have a debilitating disease or an issue that is deep rooted, and sometimes it won't seem deep rooted. So for instance, if you have like eczema, psoriasis, any of those type of things on your skin, and you think, oh, I just need an oil to stop the itching, reduce the redness, and take away this rash. Wrong. Most of the time, yes, you do need that. That's partially right. That's the symptom. But what we need to do with holistic health and with essential oils and with doTERRA is we get to the root of the issue. So let me tell you why you may have not had great success with essential oils. It's because you must not have not gone all in. If you are an all in type of person, you get it. But if you're not, if you're a dip my toe in the water because it's cold and I want to see if like I can stand it if with my toe and then I might get in with my knee, no, okay, that's not how this works. This works when you go all in because we are working with this body. It is one complete unit. Many times in the medical system, they will just isolate. That's why they have specialties, cardiologist, proctologist, podiatrist, neurologists. Have all these different specialties where they segment up the human body into different little parts and don't really consider the whole. With holistic medicine or natural medicine, we treat the whole person. So therefore, you must go all in if you really want the best results. So what do we do? How do you go all in? Well, first of all, if you do have an issue, let's talk about your symptoms. Yes, we can help you be comfortable with whatever discomfort you might have. Yes, or dis-ease. We want to make you comfortable in the process of your healing, but that's not all. We start with the symptoms. And let me tell you about oils. They're not one size fits all where you can just prescribe one thing and it's going to work for everybody. Like for sleep, most people think lavender is the jam for sleep and they will just herald lavender, put it on the bottom of your feet, diffuse it, take it in a capsule. That's great for most of the people that I come across, thousands of people, and they love lavender and will scream and holler for lavender, makes them sleepy. Y'all, doesn't work for me. It works for me for other things, but not for sleep because it actually makes me be attentive and pay attention. Every human body is different. It's like a fingerprint. So everybody needs to find their own jam, right, with their symptoms. Now, secondly, what do? We use essential oils all 3 ways. So if you're just using for your sleep, if you're just diffusing and not putting on topically or taking internally, you're not doing the whole jam. You're not giving the trifecta, right? So we want to do the triple crown, the trifecta. Go all in with diffusing, applying oils topically, responsibly while diluting. And we do teach you all this education. And number 3, internally. And here we go. Here's the big, I've got to tell you this, only doTERRA oils you can take internally. So yes, you want to have an internal way to, if you're working on a symptom or working on getting well in some kind of area. Okay. Now, number 2, let's get to the root cause. Let's address the symptoms all 3 ways and get those taken care of. And then we want to get to the root. What is the body system we're dealing with? Yes, I know I said segment the body system, but there's usually a rooted place. And it might not be just like if it's a skin issue, it may be your gut that needs addressing instead of just the skin. The skin might be the symptom, but the gut is usually, or the liver or one of your filter organs is usually the organ or the system in the body that's crying out for help. Okay, so we want to address the root cause. And number three, what do we do after that? Like, what's your in the all-in world? We transition. We transition out of the toxins. We transition from toxins. So we go through our home. We go through different things we're using, let's see, room sprays, anything with a fragrance, anything that has fragrance in it, perfumes, lotions, any kind of de-wrinklers, your dryer sheets, your detergent, your oral care, all these things you go through one by one. You don't have to just buy everything all at once and throw it. Now, I was decorating a house in a nice neighborhood, and the next door neighbor, their entire yard, which was a small yard because this was in an urban setting, their entire yard was filled with trash bags. And I was like, I walked into the client's house and I'm like, what's going on with your neighbor? She goes, she just found out all about toxins and fragrances and how all these things are bad for you. And she threw everything out of her house in one day. Well, if I would have known, if I would have found out in one day and it would have downloaded with me, I would have done the same thing. But listen, you can transition as you run out of shampoo and conditioner, as you run out of your skincare, as you run out of things in your medicine cabinet. Well, I would stop using all that stuff immediately over the counter. But, you just start to transition your spending from the stuff you would buy at the drugstore and at the supermarket. You transition to doTERRA, because as you order in the loyalty rewards, you get up to 30% back off of wholesale in points to buy whatever you want in your products. So this is another layer of the going all in. Okay. Now you start thinking about your children or your pets, and you start transitioning with them first to things that are the most toxic in your house, that like your laundry room, your bathroom. You start transitioning to the On Guard products, right? You transition to the abode cleaners that we have over here, all this awesome stuff for cleaning. And you start transitioning as you run out, or when you find out what's in some of that stuff, you're going to get out of my house, right? But it's a transition. And then when you go all the way in, you start using the oils for cooking. You have certain oils you love to put in your water, and you start to build up your inventory. So you start to get excited about things like BOGOs that we may have again in November. We have them about 2 or 3 times a year, and that's a great time to stock up. It's also, you can get a free oil every month if you spend 125 PV. This month, if you did a 200 PV order before the 15th, you got 3 free products. So you can really build up your inventory very quickly. So if you do have an emergency for any kind of healthcare in your home, you are equipped and empowered, that you don't have to be, running to the ER and just at the mercy of whatever you get and whatever you have to pay in that kind of incidents. Then, another thing, when you go all in, you're taking the LLV vitamins every day. That just makes life so much better. Your kids are taking the doTERRA vitamins, highest quality vitamins, the kids probiotic. You're using the protein powder, the fiber, and the greens to replace meals and to keep a healthy weight. There's just so many things that we can do to go all in with doTERRA. And when I tell you, if you want your essential oil experience to be not only gratifying, but effective, and you want to really feel that optimal health that so many of us on our community page, our Facebook page, you'll see people raving about and getting so excited. In December, we usually get a free frankincense with our 200 PV order, and people will get so excited and order four times to get 4 free frankincense and stock up or buy for gifts. So when you see people getting this freaked out and crazy, and you're like, why are these people so geeked out about these essential oils? I don't see what the big deal is. I tried lemon in my water and it didn't do anything for me, well, most people think the lemon in their water does something for them, but there's some people that it just doesn't, they don't get it. But if you've gone all in, you get it. So I want to challenge you today. Before you discount the experience of doTERRA, go all in, man. It's the best life. It is one of the best life upgrades you can do. When you transition from all the toxins, your body, it's just a little bit of poison in all those products, a little bit of poison. But what happens is it accumulates in your liver, it accumulates in your cells. And your body eventually, as you see older people that have gone the medical model and have not transitioned and deviated from the American lifestyle, and as people my age in their late 50s, early 60s are getting into their latter years, you're seeing the accumulation and the toxicity of living that life, right, for decades, because it accumulates. But for those of us who have deviated and we cleanse and we take good care of our bodies and we work out and we do all the things and we eat good food and we invest in our health so that later on in our life, we don't have to be sitting in an emergency room or God forbid, a nursing home or something, and just at the mercy of whatever they tell us to do, because we haven't learned about our body and learned to be our own wellness advocate. So my challenge to you is to go all in, because these oils work and they are a blessing, and they can be a blessing to your life, but you got to go all in. Okay. So join me. Let's go all in. Got it? Shalom.